So welcome back guys. Today I got a guide on completing the red worm on solo for any of you solo players. So by doing this you will basically get one of the three following schematics, which is the legendary Aether tool, the flawless Aetherium crystal and the SCORCHER plans. So obviously these are random, you are guaranteed to get at least one of them, but what one you get is unknown until you actually get it. So what you want to do for your loadout is get a legendary Aether tool to boost our weapon to the legendary rarity to increase its damage. Then you want to try and get a Pack-a-Punch level 3 crystal. Don't worry if you can't get one of these, because you can just go into a game, do contracts, get money, and then go to tier 3 and Pack-a-Punch level 3 there. So don't worry too much about this one if you can't get one. Once you've got one of these, you want to get a Shatter Blast ammo mod as well to equip to your weapon, as this will help a bit in the actual fight. For the weapon you want to use a WSP Swarm, and the attachments you will want to put onto this will require the gun to be level 27, so the maximum level. So for your barrel you want the WSP Reckless 90 long barrel, your laser the Hipshot L20, 9mm high grain rounds, ammo or whatever for your ammos, and a 100 round drum. Then you want to equip the WSP Akimbo brace stock, and then we'll move on to what tactical and lethals you are going to need. So for your tactical, put decoys or experimental gas, and then for your lethals try and get ether blades or thermites. If you can as well, try and get gold armor plates and a dog bone, as this will greatly increase your odds in actually completing this boss. One more thing I want you to do is go over to settings, go to controller and go to gameplay. Scroll down to parachute auto deploy and put it to always, as this will help in the boss fight. So once you're in the game, you want to come to this place by you at the Orlov military base, and just come up these steps, come through this part of the building and just come through these doors. Now if you look at the wall by you, you'll see basically a poster of a map, well the map you're on, alongside 4 cutouts of the map. So these cutouts are basically where you've got to find these USB devices around the map, so you will need to do a lot of travelling around the map in order to get these 4 devices. So there is a cheat sheet on screen now showing you all the locations. The red markers are the USB locations and the white markers are the boss fight locations. So with the first location, this one is in the tier 3 red zone by these containers. Just come up to this console or laptop thing, interact with it, wait for it to pop inside and the USB device will be spat out of it. Just pick this USB device up and we can move on to the next location. So the next location where you can get one of these is just by you in the tier 1 zone at the bottom left hand side of the map. Just come up to the console again, interact with it, wait for the laptop to pop inside and pick up the USB device that's spat out of it. I am showing you a few of the locations, but these are not all the locations, as I haven't actually had all the locations myself. Even though I've done this about 20 plus times, I still haven't managed to get all the locations. So unfortunately I can't give you gameplay of all the locations where these can spawn. But this is your next one, which is in the tier 2 orange zone. Same again, come interact with the console, wait for it to spit the USB device out, pick up the USB device and we can move to another location. So this is another one in the tier 2 orange zone, just by you on basically like the center left hand side of the map. Same again, interact with the console, wait for the console to spit the USB device out and then just pick up the USB device off the floor and we can move to the next one. So another location as to where you can find these USBs is just by here. Same again, come over to it, interact with it, wait for it to spit the USB device out, and just pick up the USB device off the floor.
That is all the calibration data we needed.
Here is another one that you can get a device from. This is at the top left hand side of the map. Just come over to it, interact with it, pick up the USB off the floor, and we can move to the next one. So this one is just outside the Orlov military base. Just come up to it, interact with it, and pick up the USB device. So I will show you where you can where this location actually is, and it is just by here on the Tac-Map. So just come over here, do what I said, and pick up the device, and then move to the next one. So this one is in the tier 2 orange zone again. This one is pretty close to where the soccer stadium or football stadium is located too. So just come over to this building and it'll be on the roof. Interact with the console, pick up the device after it's spat out, and we can move on to the next location. So our next one is going to be in the tier 3 red zone, and it is this building by here. So just come on top of this building and go over to the console, interact with the console, and you will get your USB spat out of the console again. So the console is just over by here, and this is the actual location of it on the Tac-Map. So there are, there's literally one more location that I've actually got gameplay of, so I'll be showing you this one now. This one is basically at the bottom left hand side of the map. Just come over to it, interact with the console, pick up the device, and we can basically move on to actually getting ready to go to the boss fight itself. So again, once you've got all 4 of your USB devices, we will need to get ready to go to the fight. So if you can, you want to try and get some sentry turrets, some self revives, and come to a tier 3 buy station and buy a durable gas mask. So once you've got all this, you want to find the location of the boss fight. So to find this, you want to find where these 2 ammo crates are and where the Aether storm's close to. So that's the 2nd location, this is the 3rd location, and that's the 4th location as to where these boss fights can spawn. So you want to wait for the game to basically start bringing in the Aether storm, and the Aether storm will go out after you cover these refractors which are located at the boss fight areas. You want to run around to each one of these refractors as the storm goes over them and place the USB devices into them and wait for the worm to basically spawn. The worm will basically spawn about a minute after you place the last USB device in, and just a heads up, you do have to complete this boss fight before the timer runs out. If the timer gets to 0, then you will unfortunately be eliminated from the game. So as the boss basically spawns in, what you're going to want to do is start shooting the red spots on him, as these are his weak spots. And if you shoot the other areas, then the likelihood you won't do enough damage. But just literally shoot the red spots on the worm. Obviously he spits out these little orbs, try and kill these off, as they are, can be quite annoying and they can down you quite a lot. So make sure you try and take out as many of these as you can. So what you want to do while you're doing this is just run around shooting him like this. When he does that laser attack, try and jump out of the way of where he is basically facing to avoid getting hit by that laser, as this is pretty much near enough an instant down. Bear in mind as well, he can also shoot mimics out, so watch out for these. But again, just keep running circles around him, shooting the red spots, throw decoys to try and get the zombies away from you. Watch out for this attack, which he basically lunges down and tries to bite you. He can swallow you from this, so just keep that in mind. And obviously keep an eye on your gas mask. When it gets low, come up to an ammo crate and refill, and it will top your gas mask up. Now he will burrow under the ground like this, and he will basically lunge back up and try and eat you, so bear that in mind as well. So same as before, just keep running around in circles, avoid the attacks that he does, and throw decoys to basically get the zombies away from you. Use your ether blades if you've got them to kill any zombies that are close to you. And again, try and kill these orbs as they do down you, and like I said, they are very annoying, so just keep an eye on them. As you can see by here, he's eaten me. If you don't put that setting on I told you to earlier, and when he spits you out like this, if you hit the ground you will instantly die, but if you pull your parachute out in time, then you won't die. Obviously, like I said, watch out for that laser. As you've just seen then, it is very powerful and can instant down you. So just keep running the circles around him, keeping your ammo topped up. Watch your gas mask to make sure that don't go too low, because obviously without no gas mask then this will make life very difficult for you and you will just go down. So just literally keep running circles, throw your decoys, shoot the red spots, and just basically repeat it until the end of the boss fight. So as you do approach the end and he hasn't got much health left, then congratulations, you're almost there. So again, obviously if he eats you, like obviously here you can see I went down in his mouth. I don't know how I went down, but if he does eat you, then just pull your parachute out, or if you've got the setting I told you to put on, then you should just pull it out automatically. But as soon as you have killed him off like this, everything will despawn, so don't worry about zombies. Just come over to your rewards rift, see what schematic you've got, and then you can basically instantly exfil the game by using the portal or dark ether rift that spawns by the rewards portal.